As a fourth-generation entrepreneur and business owner, I know the grit and grind that it takes to run a business. With Chingon SA, we're capturing stories from other local business owners and community leaders to highlight them for you, our querido community of San Anto. From the culture, for the culture. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Chingon SA. I'm the host of the show. My name is Luis. I'm excited to have you here, man. I wanted to kind of jump on here for a solo episode for the first episode of season 2. And just really fill you guys in on what's to come in season 2, kind of set you guys up for that, but also, just to kind of give you an update on what's going on with me and my business, and why we kind of took a break from producing these episodes. And, just kind of fill you guys in. I thought it'd be a good idea to kind of get started fresh and clean and kind of give you guys an update. I felt like I owed that to you guys. Some of you guys have been asking for new episodes, when new episodes were going to come out. There was a lot of excitement, I think, around the podcast and, kind of where we were headed. And so I wanted to just kind of, come on and share that with you guys. So first, welcome to the new season of Chingon SA. I keep getting asked, like, why did you name it Chingon SA, right? Why the name Chingon? What does that mean? For me, Chingon, translates obviously to a badass or awesome, right? And SA, it kind of has a little bit of a double meaning, right? SA and SA for San Antonio. So I hope that came across, right? Chingon SA. And so what the show is about, or what it has been about, is highlighting stories of business owners, entrepreneurs, and just people doing some really cool stuff in San Antonio. One of the best parts of my job as an insurance agent and as an insurance agent that's focused on commercial insurance is in our discovery process. The way that we work with our clients is we really try to get to know who they are first before jumping into a quote. And I think that that's really important because as an insurance agent who is trying to help a customer protect what their largest assets, right? Their business, their employees, all of that kind of thing. It's important to understand how a business operates, how they make their money, and where their exposure is. But I'm always curious when I talk to business owners, especially meeting business owners and entrepreneurs for the first time, and trying to find out, like, what was their motivation for going into business for themselves, and why do they do what they do, and why are they, where is their passion? Where does their passion lie? I love hearing those stories, and I love commiserating with other business owners and entrepreneurs about that. And so what I thought would be, what I was talking, one day with my producing partner, Dom, one day, and he suggested, why not start a podcast and provide a platform to these business owners to be able to tell their stories. And man, I really love that we created this platform to invite business owners and entrepreneurs on, and people just doing really cool stuff in San Antonio to share that vision and share their come up stories, because I think it's super important when we talk about shopping local and supporting local businesses. It's important to understand where a business comes from, what their heart is for the community that they serve, why they're doing what they're doing, and just in general, what's to come, right? What's to expect when a customer does business with them. And so I'm really grateful that we had, we had interest, right, from guests that wanted to come on the show and actually tell their stories. And so it's been super fun. I think we did a little over 20 episodes in season 2. So we got to talk to, several different business owners and entrepreneurs in 2025, doing the show. And, I was excited to bring back season 2. Wasn't sure what it was going to look like or where we were going to do it. We'll get into that in a little bit, but definitely wanted to continue to be able to provide that platform. And man, we've already recorded some episodes for season 2 that we're going to, release on a weekly basis again, starting on, every Tuesday. But we have some really cool guests lined up that I hope you guys are excited about, that I know you're going to be excited about, hearing from them and hearing, their stories and, getting to know them and potentially, wanting to do business with them. Because ultimately I think that's the goal here too, right? Is, to introduce you to those business owners, so that you potentially, when you're looking for their services, are going to reach out and talk to these business owners. But that's kind of my heart for the podcast and what Chingon SA means to me, and why I chose to start the podcast. Obviously, we're in a new set, right? Welcome to the Leal Insurance studio, Leal Insurance Services studio, or the LIS studios, if you will. We've got this cool Chingon SA sign that was created for us, and really excited to show it off. You'll see it on every show, going forward. We're still kind of building out the set, so you might see things a little different between episodes or whatever. But don't freak out. This is where we're going to be, and we're excited to kind of continue moving forward. I also wanted to kind of fill you in on what's going on with me and my business. I know a lot of people had been reaching out personally and just saying, like, hey, what's going on? Heard you're not with my insurance group anymore. And that's true. As of December 30th or sometime in December, I stepped away from my insurance group. I was a partner there in charge of commercial insurance. For whatever reason, partnerships don't work out, right? So a little bit of backstory. I started my agency, Leal Insurance Services, back in 2010. And had been my own business owner for 12 years, almost 13 years, collaborated with some of the partners over at my insurance group over a period of time, and there was some great synergy there and great collaboration. And at some point we decided to merge. What started off honestly as a joke, right? It was like, I think I was having a bad day one day, and I made a joke about, selling my agency and coming to run the commercial division of their agency. And, from that, we sort of, kind of joked about it every time we talked about it. And eventually, before we knew it, quite honestly, I think we had lawyers involved, right? And we were talking about merging our two businesses together. And eventually I came on after a long process. I came on as a partner. My insurance group brought my book of business with me, both on the personal line side and the commercial line side. It was a great experience, right? I'm grateful for my time there. The things that I learned while I was there, the type of business owner that I wanted to be, the type of employer that I wanted to be, and the relationships that I got to experience while I was there. I mean, I can't say enough about the team there. They're just great people, and I really, quite honestly, I think kind of going through the separation, the thing that I'll miss the most is the relationships that I had with the team there. But over 2025, we started to realize as an ownership that we had different visions for where we wanted to go with the agency and how we wanted to get there. At some point we came to the conclusion that it was best for me to go back out on my own. And so we started that process. We started, figuring out what that looked like logistically and, all the other things that come with that. And so we finalized, like I said, the separation in December of 25, and so I'd been there a total of about 2.5 years. But the cool thing was and really something that for me felt like a sign that I was headed in the right direction was I reached out to my landlord from the building that I had been in for 12 years prior to merging my agency. And I had said, hey, I'm just curious, if my old office had still been available. And he was like, man, if you would have called me 2 weeks ago, that space would have been yours, but it had been leased out. And he said, but I have this other space that I think you might, it's about the same size as your old office. I think you might really like it. And so I came by and I saw it one day. And man, I fell in love with the space. It was much more open than the office that I had been in before. It just had this different vibe, and I had this really great energy that I wanted for my new / old agency. And so made the decision to move into this new suite in early December and kind of get situated as we transitioned away from MIG. And I ended up bringing 2 team members with me. It's funny, when I think about that, it's like, you remember the Jerry Maguire movie, right? You kind of stand up and you say, "Who's coming with me?" And you have that sort of nervousness looking around because nobody's really saying anything. Wasn't quite that dramatic if I'm being real and honest with you, but it had that feeling, if you will. But at the end of the day, 2 team members, Wendy and Leslie, who I worked with very, very closely while I was there at MIG, both, wholeheartedly believed, I think, in the vision that I had for my agency going forward. And they wanted to continue helping to build that. So they joined, Leal Insurance Services when we separated from MIG. And man, I'm super excited to have them as a part of my team. Wendy is the newest member of our team, but she's been such a valuable asset. And Leslie, I mean, man, I am so excited to have her on the team. She has been with me for 2 years now, and she knew nothing about commercial insurance or insurance in general before she came on board with me. And she's a quick learner, and she's not afraid to get her hands dirty when it comes to making sure that our clients are taken care of. And yeah, I mean, I could not have had 2 better team members to start off this new chapter, this new, sort of, part of my professional journey. Right. And so, yeah, that's kind of what happened, in a really long format. But I'm super excited about Leal Insurance Services and where we're headed. If I'm being honest with you, I mean, January was our first sort of full month back, as Leal Insurance Services. And, with all the feelings that come with starting or restarting a business, right? One thing that you're thinking about as a business owner is like, where's our business going to come from? And the crazy thing is we did not do any marketing in the month of January at all. And I think mostly that was because we were still trying to get our feet under us, right? So we have to re-engage with, we have to re-engage directly with a lot of our carrier partners and get out from the My Insurance Group, ethos. And so I literally spent the whole month of January trying to do that. And so I really didn't do any marketing outside of kind of like the networking that I had already been doing. And I mean, we had a great January. This is crazy. Like, when I merged, I kept all of my, all of my stuff, not thinking that, a separation was coming or imminent or even possible. But keeping all of that, my Google profile, my website domain, my old phone number, like keeping all of that was such a blessing. Because really all I did was turn all that stuff back on. I had my website pointed to my insurance group. So whenever you typed in lealinsurance.com, it would take you to MIG's website. When you called our old phone number, was automatically forwarded to MIG's phone number. And so when I turned all that off, I was just amazed at how many phone calls we were still getting, how many people were still finding us. And, we had a great January, given that we didn't do any marketing at all. And I think that speaks to the just the tenacity that we have as a small agency. Some of the smart things that we did, to kind of prep for this separation and the plans that we have in place, and just, I mean, really, I don't know how anyone could not see that, or could not see that as, just really a God thing, right? And so, super grateful for that. But yeah, just excited about this new chapter in our journey and where we're headed. Leal Insurance Services is an independent insurance agency. So, I'm going to put out a bunch of content, just, kind of helping people to understand what that means, what that looks like, how we're different from, a captive agency. So I'd encourage you, if you're not already following Leal Insurance Services on any of our social medias or social media channels, check us out. I'll put some links in the show notes to help you find us. But super excited about what's coming. We are still doing auto and home and boat, motorcycle, RV, all of those kinds of things on the personal line side. But our focus, our marketing efforts really are going to be geared towards commercial insurance and helping business owners and entrepreneurs. Again, just kind of what we talked about earlier, in terms of protecting their largest asset, right? So any properties that they own, the liability exposure that they have from people walking into their office or retail store or whatever it might be, the products that they're selling. And also, other things that come along with that. If you're a business owner and you've got employees, why it's important for you to have work comp insurance. If you take payments, why it's important for you to have cyber liability coverage, even if you're using a third party vendor to process those payments. If you're a professional, you offer professional services. So you're a realtor, a CPA, some kind of consultant, why it's important for you to have professional liability insurance. And so some of those things we're going to talk about in other content video, on our Leal Insurance Services channel. So I would encourage you, if you're not already following us on any one of those channels, would encourage you to give us a like, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And that way you can kind of hear where our heart is for that and kind of what we want to do with that. So look forward to having you join us there. And I think the reason, I want to be clear, like one of the reasons that I'm talking about that on this platform is that Leal Insurance Services, that business is supporting this platform, right? So like it provides all of this costs money. The production, the people behind the scenes that you don't see, I've got to pay for all of that. And Leal Insurance Services, is the sponsor of the show, if you will. If you're a small business owner and you've got a story to tell, we'd love to invite you on the show. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're, an artist in San Antonio doing some really cool stuff, if you're, a politician looking for a platform to kind of share your story, we'd love to have you on the show. We don't shy away from it. I will tell you, we did have a politician on, that we recorded last week that we'll be releasing their episode really soon. I think we asked some pointed questions and they handled it very well. So I'm excited for you guys to hear about that. But yeah, I talk about Leal Insurance Services, just kind of launching season 2 because that is the foundation for being able to bring you guys this Chingon SA podcast, and kind of where we're going, as we kind of wrap up the show, just want to welcome you again to season 2 of Chingon SA and welcome you to the Leal Insurance Services studio. I want to thank my producing partners, Serafina Digital Production. They've been great. If you are a small business looking to do some marketing content, do some social media content creation, content marketing, Serafina Digital is your answer for that. They've helped me and my business in the past. They're doing a lot of stuff for us for the podcast, and would encourage you to reach out to them if you're interested in starting a podcast. We would love to invite you to use our space. We've got numerous avenues that we can change the studio and make it fit to what the vibe of is going to be for your show. We've got all the equipment. We've got audio. We've got video. We've got lights. We've got all the cool stuff that podcast studio needs. So we'd love to invite you to if you're interested in starting a podcast, reach out to either Dom or myself, and we'll be happy to kind of get you started. But wanted to say thank you again so much for tuning in to another episode of Chingon SA. Make sure that you're subscribing to our Chingon SA channel, liking our social media pages. Would love for you guys to join us in that and continue the conversation. We've got some great topics coming up. We've got some great guests lined up, like I mentioned earlier, if you're a business owner, entrepreneur, or somebody doing something really cool in San Antonio and you want a platform to be able to share that with a wider audience, we'd love for you to reach out to myself or Dom and maybe have you on the show. So thanks again for tuning in to another episode of Chingon SA. My name is Luis. This is an LIS Studios and Serafina Digital production. We'll see you guys next week. This has been an LIS Studio and Serafina Digital production. Be sure to like and subscribe to the show on your favorite platform. And tell a friend about the show by sharing this episode on your Facebook and TikTok. If you're a business owner, entrepreneur, or someone doing really cool things in San Antonio and want to get your story on our show, email us at luis@lealinsurance.com.